Welcome to today's edition of Mental Health Matters. Today we're going to be talking about maladaptive daydreaming. We have a great show ahead for you guys, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for being on our show today. I know, Kathleen, you was on our show last one, and I thank you for doing Wives' Tale with us. And we have your daughter Hannah on the show with us today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Thank you for being on the show. So we're going to talk a little bit about a topic that I don't know much about, which was fairly new to me. When Kathleen kind of told me about it, I thought, oh, okay, this is something new and something I never heard of, which is maladaptive daydreaming. So let's talk a little bit about what that is. What is maladaptive daydreaming?
Well, everyone daydreams from time to time, and yeah, that's typical. But maladaptive daydreaming is where you get really invested in them, and you spend a lot of your time daydreaming to the point where it could be like it could prevent you from like doing your job or like doing social activities or just interacting with others in basic life.
So is there a difference between regular daydreaming and maladaptive daydreaming?
Yeah, like when someone regularly daydreams, they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to do this today or something, or just imagining the scenario in their head. Everyone does it differently. But when you maladaptive daydream, you have like, at least for me, it's when you have these complex worlds in your head that you just keep on building up with different characters and settings and all that. And it's kind of like a movie that plays in your head constantly, but it almost has no ending.
Okay. So are there any symptoms associated with maladaptive daydreaming?
There are some. Like, I've learned to multitask when I do it, but I would just like sit there and just do nothing for a while. But like a few other people I know, they would do pacing, like where they just walk a bit while they daydream, or just like tap their hand or something like that. But yeah, that's what I know.
So I know sometimes I tend to, kind of daydream in a sense, like I'm at home and things like that. I'll kind of, I guess the best way I can describe it is I will start playing stuff in my mind that I want to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So would that be associated with that, or would that be just something a little bit different?
It's something a little bit different, but it's all about context, I guess.
Okay. Kathleen, how familiar are you with maladaptive daydreaming?
Not very familiar.
Okay.
She talked to me about it a couple months ago,
yeah,
I think, for the first time.
Yeah, it's something I've had like almost my whole life. I just didn't know about it. But I was really scared to tell others, because for a while I thought I was crazy for having it. But I learned that there are others out there that have it, and so it made me feel a whole lot better about telling it.
Yeah. That's good. And you was there obviously to support her and.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that she uses to cope, and so it's not harming her, not harming anyone else.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
She can take it wherever she goes. She doesn't lose it.
I like that. I like
so
that.
So it's positive.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be harmful sometimes, but it's not always like rainbows and butterflies. But I get your point, though.
Yeah.
So in what way can it be harmful?
Like, it could distract you, like from your social life. You won't want to see other people you won't want to go to work or something like that. But it's manageable. Like it takes a while, or like you just have to do it on your own sometimes. But there's a way to figure it out for some people.
Yeah. So do you think that there are people out there? There's a lot of people who does maladaptive daydreaming, but are not familiar that they actually does it.
Yeah. Like. It's like every time I go on social media or like Tumblr or something, and I look at maladaptive daydream, there's always that one person that's like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. They're always like, wow, there's so many other people and I'm not alone, and it's really nice, and we always welcome anyone who's who needs help in their situation.
Yeah. I think anything that a person does excessively, depending on what it is, can be considered not productive. So if I play basketball, throughout the day or just all the time, that can be considered, not being productive.
Yeah, anything could be addictive.
Exactly.
As such.
Exactly. And I know maladaptive daydreaming is, we kind of talked about that earlier, it's not officially diagnosed by a doctor.
No, but there have been professors like there's one, Ellie Summer, I think I'm saying that right. He was the one that coined the term maladaptive daydreaming back in like 2002, I think.
Yeah.
And he's been like a leader in helping out others with it. And I think there's like a few other doctors that are aware of it, but it's not like in the official diagnosis or something like that.
Yeah, I know when I went on the internet to do my research, it definitely had a lot of information on there about it. So it's out there. The information is out there.
Yeah.
People just don't know what it is.
And it's mainly on the internet where it lives, because it's not like there's enough people where like, I can meet you in town or something like that. You usually just have to like find other people around the world.
Yeah.
I remember when I first found out about it, there was this community. Hey guys.
Nice.
And we all just really get along, and we still are with each other to this day.
So
just talk about life and all that.
So the community that you socialize with, that you're talking about, is there like all ages? Or
Yeah. It goes from like young teenagers to I think there's like a mom in the group or something.
Yeah. And I think that's important to highlight, because I think that everybody can maladaptive, daydream.
I think they do.
So I think that's important, because sometimes people think that, this is only for teenagers or this is only for the youth. But all of us can, fall into that particular category, so to speak, because it serves as a coping mechanism. Would you say that's... that's how it came to me. Like, it was used like a coping mechanism, because I had like severe depression when last year. And and it's just something that's been with me since, and it's always helped me in like really bad times. Nice. Do you feel like there are ways that people can, if it gets out of control for some people, do you feel like there are ways that people can kind of will it back in and use it what it needs to be used for?
It's different for everybody. Like I think it's kind of something you have to do on your own, or maybe get the help of. I hope that in the future, at least, it will be a thing where you can actually tell someone and get help from family, or maybe therapists could be trained to help with this.
Yeah.
I remember I went to therapy for a bit for my depression, and I never told her about any of it, but she's still pretty comforting, and over time I just learned to like enjoy life again, and yeah.
Hannah, I can tell you, just when I first met you, I can just tell you a very sharp young lady, and I think that you're going to help a lot of people sharing your story. And so I'm glad that you came on here, because a lot of times people, may be dealing with things and they kind of hold it into themselves, because like you said, people may have different stereotypes about what they're going through, and in actuality somebody else is kind of going through the same thing. It's just that other people are not as bold to step up like you are.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I don't want anyone else to feel like the way I felt about this.
Yeah, exactly. So when you finally told your mom, Kathleen, because I know you said first you were scared to tell her, and when you finally told her, was it a sigh of relief, or how did you feel after you finally just told her?
It's kind of a funny story. I remember like a few months ago, I remember I'm just going to tell her, like, I remember I actually put together a PowerPoint, like, of things, like, explaining what it was.
Nice.
And And then I'm like, hey mom, guess what?
Yeah.
And then I explained it, and she's like, I didn't you say something about that a year ago?
Yeah.
And like, I think I forgot I did mention it to her, but like very subtly.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a way, it was kind of good to finally tell her and all of that.
Yeah. Well, I will say that you have definitely educated her on that, because when she brought it up, I felt like she was very somewhat looked like way passionate about it, in a sense where, oh, okay, my daughter know about this, and so I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe we need to do a show on this. And I'm like, well, talk to her and see if she'd be willing to do a show, because it's something I've never heard of, and it's something that I felt like people out in the community really, really need to hear about. And even to the point where hopefully that this show on this particular subject can be a champion for starting to raise awareness around this, because people don't know, and
Yes.
so if they don't, then they can watch this show and kind of get educated about it, and then start their journey of learning more about it, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I really hope for in this.
Yeah. So when did you first find out that you was maladaptive daydreaming?
I found out like last year.
Okay.
Was it? I think it was like late 2016
Okay.
or something like that.
But like, what did you do? Did you go on the internet? Did you
Well,
just?
what really happened is like, I mean, I had it for like most of my life, and like, but I didn't really notice like, oh, this is something different until high school.
Yeah.
And I remember like just thinking I was insane for months, until one day I just looked up, hey, does anyone else do this? And
Nice.
lo and behold.
Yeah, that was smart. Oftentimes, and it's unfortunate that when people tend to kind of go through things, like I stated earlier, because of stigma. I'll give an example. Like in the African American community, we are taught to be strong and go through things, and no, you're not this or you're not that. And sometimes people suffer because of the stereotype that's placed on the culture. I have a few family members who has not been diagnosed with a mental health disorder, but that they are a mental disorder because of the behavior. And I have family members that have, and a lot of times, I've had a parent in the family say that, no, I did not take them to a doctor because I was concerned about what the family members would say or what friends would say. And because of that, this particular person did not get the treatment or the help they needed, and it worked against them while they was growing up. And I've even had unfortunately, I've had a cousin who should have went to get diagnosed and got her the treatment she needed, but she didn't, and she ended up having a baby. And after the baby, she got sick, and I mean, obviously they knew something was going on, but she wouldn't go to the hospital, the doctor. But when she did go, it was a little bit too late, and she slipped into a coma, and she eventually died. But all this could have been prevented, in my opinion, if certain people would have stepped up and said, you know what, when she was younger, let me get her diagnosed, let her get some treatment. Because to me, it's nothing to be ashamed about. To me.
Right. Oh yeah.
We're human.
Right.
Everybody has their own things that they deal with. When you talk about depression, everybody have a moment in their life when they deal with some form of depression / sadness. So everybody deal with mood changes. Everybody
does.
But society have put a label. Well, if you feel like this, if you feel like that, or you're that. No, we all do. We can wake up happy and energetic and just ready to take on the world, and then the next day we may not. It could be because of the weather. Rain is a prime example. Will put you in a very lethargic state.
Right.
I don't feel like going outside today. I don't feel like doing nothing. Okay, your mood just changed. So, and
right.
you pick up and you move on. So for me, people who may be going through things, I love to hear that story. I love to talk. I love to hear people's story because everybody got a story.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good. So so when you came out, as far as the Maladaptive Daydreaming, did you talk to any like of your personal friends? And you don't have to mention no name, but people that you know that know may.
No, I kept it very secure with myself. I may have like said like I like daydreaming or something to like a few friends, but nothing like really big or anything.
Yeah, because the reason why I asked is because the youth today, you guys have a lot to deal with.
You're telling me.
Yeah, opposed to my generation and opposed to your mom's generation. Like, you know, when we were you guys' age, and I'm not that old, by the way, when you guys' age, a lot of stuff we didn't have to deal with. We didn't have, you know, you guys are exposed to a lot more. You know, like, you know, the internet, the internet was out, but like I said, I'm not that old. So the internet and just different things like that. It's just a lot of things that you guys are exposed to, and so I think that's another reason why a lot of teenagers and youth tend not to share a lot of things, and their friends are going through the same thing or something very similar, you know. So yeah, that's good. I want to switch gears a little bit.
Right.
What do you think about bullying?
What do you mean, like?
Because the reason I'm gonna ask you this is because a lot of times when some youth can be a little bit aggressive, and as far as teasing and things like that, when they find other people or the youth go through things that they may not understand or that they may not go through.
I see what you mean. Like every now and then I'll like tease others every now and then in like a joking way, but I know there's a line.
Right, exactly.
Like, you can't cross.
Exactly.
And all that. But like once you cross that line, it's just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty against that.
Okay. So what do you think some of the challenges that youth face today?
Well, I mean, what are the challenges that youth don't face? That's the real question right there. Like, we're expected to move out, get into college, which is impossible to afford unless you're really rich. Yeah. And like, and you have to get a job while balancing social life and like your mental health, and like and even if you want to like achieve your dream that you have in mind, that's going to require a lot more work. Like, just basic survival is hard enough. Yeah. You know, they say like the world's your oyster, and the American dream and all that, where you guys made it impossible for us to do that. It's tough. It's tough, and sometimes you know, I know someone who the expectation was when you get out of high school, you know, they felt like everything was going to just fall at their lap, and they learned very quickly that that's not how life works. You either go and continue to go to school, you're in a job, and you're going to go from there. And it's unfortunate that this particular person fell into a deep state of depression because things didn't turn out the way he thought they would. This is what he was taught. You know, you got a high school with boom, everything. No, it's not going to work like that. So I think it's just one of the things that we as a community, even like doing shows like this or some form of presentation, just to educate people about anything that people can actually go through, you know, whether it's depression, maladaptive daydreaming, whatever it may be. We have to, you know, be responsible for taking care of each other in that sense by educating each other. How often do you dream? It's actually, it seems like so natural to me. I don't keep track anymore. I'll just do it like during class or when I'm bored or just something like that. And it's not like a hobby or something. It's just like something I do like whenever I'm like depressed or something, or every now and then I'll just do it for the heck of it.
So
just
like,
because it's fun.
So like, because I'm trying to understand. Okay, like,
Sorry.
so no, you're fine. So like, I myself, for example, I don't know. I tend to, you know, when I'm alone, sometimes I tend to, I don't know, like, kind of drift off. But it's more so drifting off and allowing or making. However you want to.
Well, here's the thing though. Like, you know that like you know you have a job to do and you have like friends and family around you. Like, while maladaptive daydreamers, they care more about the world in here, and rather ignore the outside world and just don't want to do any of it because they think, why would I do that? I don't really like interacting with others when I could just, you know, be in a world where I just do what I want most of the time.
Yeah, I like what your mom said. It's not harming anybody. You know.
That's what I'm trying to say. It could be harmful, but it could be harmful to others. Like people will miss you. Like when you're out
I understand what you're saying.
Like
become withdrawn. Is that
you become withdrawn.
Isolated.
Thank you.
I said
right. Where someone, and I know at one point I can remember, Hannah, probably sophomore year, I could see a lot more isolation. You know, going to the bedroom after school, but you know, it's hard to sometimes as a parent to figure out, is that just a moody teenager? Is that just how and you want to give them space? Yeah. Because they're growing up and they're getting older and you have to do all that. And so it's sometimes hard to miss, you know, or to see, you know, where they're going. Now looking back as it, you know, after she spoke with me, I was like, oh, okay, a lot of the pieces of the puzzle kind of fit in place now when you look back at, you know.
That's kind of what I was expecting. Like, I figured you'd just take a step back and be like, that explains why my child is just so weird.
No, not weird.
I love weird, so that's okay.
I'm afraid,
but the withdrawn part, I can see. A lot of the withdrawn, isolation, you know, that kind of thing.
I think if, like, my friends, like, if I ever tell them, or, like, if they ever see this, they'll just sit back and think, well, that explains a lot.
Yeah. So is isolation and being withdrawn, is that some of the habits that's associated with maladaptive daydreaming?
Yeah, at least with me.
Okay.
Like, I get withdrawn. Like, some other people, if not most, would just be withdrawn from others and not want to be social or go outside and, like, you know, earn money and be able to take care of themselves.
So what are some other habits that's associated with maladaptive daydreaming?
Well, daydreaming.
Okay.
Man, I feel like there are some. I just can't think of it here.
So
right now, off the top of my head. I'm bad at this. I'm sorry.
No. Like you said, being isolated. Probably, you know, not being lazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, which will affect, like you said, you know, you may not pay. I'm just throwing some out there, paying bills or, you know, things like that could potentially, you know, as a parent, like you said, with a mom out there, she may not be able to attend to her family. Yeah. Which, you know, would affect them and stuff. So
I guess I did really, like, kind of shut people out in order to be by myself and be able to daydream on my own.
Yeah.
Now that I look back at it.
Yeah. So Kathleen, when you found out, how did it make you feel, like, as a parent? Like, how did you feel? Did you think, like, man, you know, because I know some parents, you know, when they find out, or they, how can I explain this? So, and I'm trying to be careful because I like to be transparent when I do the show. So I know a mother who son came out, you know, that, you know, he was gay. Yeah. And he was terrified. So what he did was, I hope they don't watch this show, but I got to tell a story. So what he did was he ended up calling his mentor or whatever, and the mentor set up a meeting with his mother and the father. But the mother couldn't make it, so the father made it, and he came out. But if my recollection is correct, he was more scared to tell the mother. So when the mother found out, she calls me and was like, "Oh," you know, she kind of went on telling a story, and she was like, I hope you don't wear a dress. I mean, she's been very dramatic about it, and then she starts saying like, what, I didn't know, like, what happened, what did I do wrong, and you know, and she just started the blame game, and I'm like, well, no, hold up, no, you didn't do anything wrong, it's just, you know, this is choice, and you know, so do you feel like, did you have those moments like, wow, like, how did I miss this, or, you know, self-blame, or?
No, not much, no, it was more of an aha.
Okay.
It explains behavior, you know, explains some things of why Hannah was isolating herself, and you know, you know, more than you think is a normal, but you know, and it's your first child, you're always trying to figure out, is this normal, is this not normal, you're comparing with friends, mine's in, you know, and so it's hard to sometimes figure out which part of it is just being a teenager or being a regular person, and what part of it is the adaptive disorder. But I think with you know, once we had diagnosed with depression and we had other things, it really kind of helped to open up all of that to see, okay, here's what's happening, and here's how can we work on it or fix it. And then, you know, Hannah's smart and she does a lot of research.
I can tell.
I'm glad that she found something that it helps her explain how she feels. There's nothing worse than, like she said, feeling like you're going crazy or feeling like you're not normal, you don't fit in, or you're not a part of something.
Yeah.
So when she found that, it was a lot of relief too, that it's something that can help her.
Yeah.
And that, you know, she enjoys doing, and at this point it hasn't, you know, affected other people too much, as far as we like to see her pretty face every once in a while, but you know, nice. So no, I didn't blame myself. It was more, like I said, more of the aha, and okay, it really was helpful to find that out.
I like the fact that you brought out that she was able to do her research and really found out what was going on with her, and she had the ability to help herself, because a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't do that. You know, they just fall into this dark cloud, so to speak, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You, on the other hand, you were able to do your research, found out what was going on, and now you're trying to raise awareness about it and stuff. You know, I have a friend who, you know, he deals with major depression, and it's so funny because so many years of knowing this person, I didn't know, like I'm serious, like we were super close. I didn't know, and he will always use the term I'm battling a down feeling. And I just, you know, and at first I'm like, you know, okay, you know, he just whatever. But as I started getting more educated in the mental health field and different things like that, I'm like, oh, okay. And looking at some of the symptoms, you know, because he didn't want to be associated with that because of the stigma, of course. Yeah, exactly. Labeled. Exactly.
Right.
Super smart guy, super sharp, good job, make good money and all that. And but that's just, you know, what he deals with. And I've tried to talk to him about maybe, you know, going and seeing like a therapist and counselor and stuff. He won't do it. He will not do it. But he will go into this depression for like such a long period of time and won't get no help. And I'm telling you, it's not a bad thing. We all deals with depression. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody deals with some form of depression, one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, but he just won't do it. You know, and the sad thing about it is it has started affecting other areas of his life. Anxiety. He's, you know, taking, you know, he's self-medicating, put like that, and he has other bad habits, and but he don't want to deal with it. You know, unlike Hannah was able to do what she need to do, but he's not doing that. He's not taking charge, and you know what I'm saying, and it's unfortunate. Mental health in a lot of, like you were saying, communities and a lot of places is still a bad thing.
You know, depression is still a bad thing. It's come a long way, I think, in 20 years, but we still have such a long way to go, because, like you said, everybody in one form or another it deals with it. You know, some people are more severe, and maybe you have it light, but you never know. There's a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, or somebody that deals with it, and they shouldn't be ashamed of it. It should just be something you start to talk to, because you'll be surprised once you open up that floodgate, you'll be surprised if, oh yeah, me too, or oh so and so, and there's other people out there. You're not alone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
suffering in some sort. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. How often do you go online and to this support group that you talk
I used to do a lot more, but lately I've been like busy with school and all that. But I try to come in every now and then and say, hey, how's it going, everybody? And like mainly what they like to do is they would role play as like these characters that they come up with in their daydreams. And I'm not really that type of daydreamer, so so I haven't been in the chat that often, but that's just something they like to do.
Yeah. And so do people share stories and just try to help each other?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we have people from all around the world, like mainly in the USA, but like I have a friend from Scotland who's a Maladaptive Daydreamer, and he's pretty cool. Yeah. And I think there was someone from Australia at one point.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So all around the world. Yeah. So
we actually got so close one point that I asked everyone like we all list our time zones, and I had I just went to the clock app on my phone and put everyone on there, so so that I could figure, this is the best time to talk with everybody and all that.
Yeah. So I like how you brought that out, because it's this when let me say this. So when whether it's Maladaptive Daydreaming, bipolar, whatever it may be, it's cross culture. It's cross every race, every culture, every state, every city, every country. I mean, everybody's dealing or going through something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, seriously, like, you handle, like, for real. I really, really thank you, because you're doing a good job. Like, a lot of people will not come forth like this. Like, they just won't. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's rarely anybody in the chat that's, like, told anyone else, or at least that I know of. It seems like the only people that can understand us is each other.
Yeah. So have you shared with any? Well, okay. Have you been on a chat since you know that you was gonna do the show?
Yeah, I actually talked about them a bit. Like, is there anything like you should tell me? And they say they say good luck and all that, and they mainly are just giving me encouragement, because they think it's really cool that I'm able to do something like this. Yeah, I think.
Well, it will be, besides cable, it's going to be on YouTube too, so you could definitely be able to.
Oh yeah, I was planning on just sending them a link.
That's good, so they can see it and maybe share with somebody else. What would you say to somebody who fell into the category of maladaptive daydreaming, and they were, like you, didn't want to share or whatever? What advice would you give them to be able to help themselves?
I'd say that, like, they're not alone, and there's always going to be someone else in the community that will help you out, and if you need it, or like if you ever need someone to talk to, or someone to listen, then there's always going to be someone there. You just need to go out there and look for them. It's pretty easy actually to find people. Like, I think there's a Reddit page as well, but I don't really go on Reddit that much.
Yeah, I wonder if there are any support groups here in Sacramento. I'm just wondering, or just in the area for that particular.
I don't think there's like any groups, because it's such a rare thing. Yeah. That like, it's such a rare thing. Like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When you researched, were you able to find anything local at all?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes, when I know a lot of times when physicians or different people don't understand, and it tends not to give a lot of attention to it, but in reality it is real because people are doing it.
Yeah. So, it often gets like confused with like schizophrenia or dissociative identity disorder or something like that, when really they aren't the same thing. They're kind of similar, but not the same thing. Definitely.
So what makes them similar? Like what would you say is kind of similar?
Like with schizophrenia, and you see these things, but like with maladaptive daydreams, they know what they're thinking. It's not real, but yet you really you enjoy it. Yeah. and like I remembered seeing something about how it was similar to dissociative identity disorder when, like how, correct me if I'm wrong, like dissociative identity disorders are like multiple personality disorder, basically, right? Or
which one?
Dissociative identity disorder is like similar to multiple personality disorder, where you're like, you can have different people, like you think you're different people all the time, when that is not maladaptive daydreaming.
Okay, I'm not for sure.
Take it with a grain of salt, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
I
am not an expert. I am a high school student that just happens to have this.
But you're
So,
smart.
yeah.
You're very sharp. Trust me, very, very sharp. So I watched the movie, man, recently. When I say recently, last year. It has something to do with, I can't think of it either. It was a really good movie. With this guy had multiple personality disorder, and I think
A Beautiful Mind. Is that it?
I don't know. I think it was it Kevin Spacey?
No, I had.
No, it wasn't Kevin Spacey.
Split.
Split. Yeah. Did you see that?
No, but I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about it. Like, yeah, I just heard a lot about it.
That was a very, very good movie. When you hear the name and see the previews, it does not do the movie justice, and it kind of remind me of that particular movie.
I remember a lot of people were saying like they didn't like the movie because, well,
Wow.
mainly because it's not like it was a bad movie. You know, I haven't seen it, but what I've heard is that like they're tired of people with mental disorders being portrayed in a negative light. Like, like how he was the villain, and like, oh, he has 22 personalities, and that's such a rare thing, when I've heard of lots of other people that have had multiple, like, that level of personalities in them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of it in that way, the way that you brought it out. I think I just enjoyed it for what it was, because at first, before I saw it, you know, the people that went with me, they were concerned about it being a scary movie, and they don't.
I think it's a thriller. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was really, really good. Like it was. Okay. Trust me, it was very entertaining.
What was the movie you were talking about that's similar to Maladaptive?
Oh, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty is. I don't think the filmmakers knew anything about maladaptive daydreaming, but a lot of people have said that the main character, Walter Mitty, has maladaptive daydreaming disorder, because throughout the movie he's just like, I remember the opening scene, he's like waiting for a train to go to work, and then at one point he starts daydreaming about this fire breaking out in the building next to him, and he goes and rescues people from inside the building, and he does it. He stays daydreaming so much that he almost misses the train that comes by.
Oh wow! Yeah. I might have to check that out, because I know I'm very familiar with that particular movie.
Yeah, pretty good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I saw it before I knew about maladaptive daydreaming. I figured I could really relate to this guy, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So do you think with the maladaptive daydream, do you think there's a strong emotional connection to that for people?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like people could get really connected to whether it's the area around you or the characters that you're daydreaming about, because you could either just be daydreaming about other people, or sometimes people would either make their own characters up, or they would just take characters from like either movies or TV shows that they really like, or books or something.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's I'm serious. It's really interesting, because I'm thinking about, once again, like I am a daydreamer for sure. Make no mistakes about it. I like to daydream, and but I don't know. I think my daydreaming, I don't even know. Well, it's more me being in control of it.
Yeah.
Just me, like I can think of somebody, and then just be like, okay, boom. I'm going to, for these 5 or 10 minutes, and this is what this is going to be about. Even like as far as I'm in grad school, and I remember me having this, me just having this picture of what I want my experience to be like.
Okay.
And I sat there for a while, and it just played out like that. Okay.
Well, sometimes for me at least, it's like I have okay, this is gonna be how it starts, and it sometimes just forms into its own little story.
Okay, nice.
Like,
okay.
like sometimes I don't know what's gonna come up next. If anything, I don't know why that's like that, but it's like that.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think is on the horizon for people that maladaptive daydream? Like what's next for this community?
I have a feeling like I hope it will get more attention. I didn't really think about the future that much, but
Yeah.
I hope like it'll be able to get a diagnosis, or at the very least to get some attention around like higher doctors, and and that people will be trained to help others, and maybe someday it'll be along the lines of like, oh, you have depression, or like I hope it's like as medically diagnosable from a therapist.
Yeah.
Common household name, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The more people know about it, and, and that it opens up dialogue for people to, know the difference between, and kind of what I'm understanding of the difference between like the everyday daydreamers like you and I versus them is that we tend to daydream about stuff we want to have happening in our personal lives with us.
Yes,
and
that's
they
exactly right.
daydream into a whole other world.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's like it would be like kind of any type of movie. What's that movie with where everybody turns blue and they're the cartoon characters, or it's not a cartoon?
Is that a music video? I'm blue, da ba
No,
dee da ba da. I wanted to do one stupid thing on this show.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's right. I love it. I love
So
it.
there, I think their daydreaming goes more into a whole different world.
Yeah, I had to take notes in order to keep up with everything and all that.
Where we daydream about like, okay, like you were saying, a conversation you want it to go this way, or how your presentation will go today, or like,
exactly.
that where theirs is kind of more into here's a whole fantasy world that they live in.
Or like you don't get like emotionally attached to any of your daydreams.
I don't. No, and I don't usually go back and daydream about the same thing or into a world. It's always something different. So this is kind of a different, and I could see how someone who is depressed or have anxiety or even isolating, it's easier to be in that world. It's probably it's more accepting. That world, and so and I especially think that happens with people who don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Because that world, there's no one judging, and there's no as this world, they think that maybe someone's going to judge or stuff like that. So
there was a movie. Oh my God, I cannot. With Leonardo DiCaprio, it came out a while back. It was like a 3-hour movie, and they will fall.
The Revenant.
Who?
The Revenant? Is that
no, not the bear one.
They were going to like these dream states and different.
Inception.
Now, would that be something? I don't know if that would be. I mean, but will it be something similar? The act, meaning the daydreaming.
I haven't seen Inception, so I can't really.
How you gonna know about?
I blame her. I can't even see Deadpool. Thanks, Mom.
Well, what's it rated?
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's a whole other show now.
That means you're doing.
Welcome to movie reviews.
Yeah, that means you're doing your job at home. There.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's man. So when you do ever see that movie, I think that it'll be interesting to get your opinion on that when you do see it, because they go into like this dream state, but they go into like different levels.
I've heard like the basic stuff about it, like that part. But, I see. I know it's like going to dreams and like travel through them and all that.
Yeah. So have you seen it?
I haven't. No.
Man, you're gonna make me wonder. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and just kind of see if that movie kind of parallel with Maladaptive Daydreaming.
Possibly.
Yeah, because that was a very intense movie. I actually watched it twice. I liked it, but yeah. So I know you kind of talked about people who may have experienced anxiety, depression, isolation. So do you guys think that people, so in order to even start maladaptive daydreaming, do you think people may have like depression or anxiety, or can somebody without that start maladaptive daydreaming?
I don't know. Most of the people I know have either depression or anxiety and a few of my friends have autism as well.
Okay.
That are daydreamers, but I don't think I've ever heard of anyone that's had like depression or anything like that, and also a daydreamer.
Okay, so some form of mental diagnosis is associated with that. Is it safe to say?
It's mainly associated with like depression and anxiety, because like you don't really like the world around you, so you create a new one.
Okay, man. So you like, for real, you really educated me here, because now I'm definitely going to talk to somebody in particular.
Pay attention, there'll be a quiz later.
Yeah, exactly. And try to see if he maladaptive daydream. Like, I'm really like, want to know,
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Yeah. So is it, can you do it for long periods of times, a short period of times, or?
Yeah, most people do it for like long periods of time.
Okay.
So, sometimes there's like, I remember like sometimes if I ever get interrupted, I just be like, let me continue.
Yeah. So when you come out, can you go back and pick up where you left off at?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, basically.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Again, it's like a movie you're playing out in your head.
Yeah.
Like you press pause or something.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll forget where you're at, and every now and then I forget where I'm at, and I'm just a little frustrated, like, oh man, that was fun, though.
Yeah. So we definitely need to get the word out about this, because like we stated earlier, it's not a lot of information. Well, I shouldn't say information, but it's not a lot of awareness around this particular subject. And I know myself, I like to talk about things. I like to educate people and kind of talk to people and hear their stories and stuff like that. So this would definitely be something that I will be expressing to other people, and just try to raise some type of awareness. I normally do that by asking them, do you know what maladaptive daydreaming is? And and you can share, or you cannot share, and have them to actually go and do their own research, because people are curious. I know me and somebody say, oh, do you know what this is? And I'm like, well, no. And if they don't share, then I'm most likely going to go and do my research to try to educate myself. Yeah. You probably definitely going to be one of the champions with this particular subject, to kind of raise awareness and stuff. Do you know the history behind its discovery?
There's a bit of it. Like Ellie Summer that I mentioned earlier, since he coined the term, and he found out that most of his patients had maladaptive daydream disorder, and since then he's been like really active in the community. Like I remember he like answered questions on Reddit at one point.
Wow.
And stuff like that.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's it. I mean, so is he a doctor or something? Or
yeah, he's a professor, but he's like in Israel or something, and
okay.
Most of his websites are in Israeli, I think, or if it's Israeli language, I forgot what language it's in, but yeah, it's kind of hard to find information on it, but he speaks English though, and he's been interviewed by a few people at some point, but yeah. Man, I really want to.
Interesting. So, can someone like, so if the information that you shared about him is in another language, that can be interpreted into English or another language.
I just use Google Translate. There's like a thing on my computer that does that automatically, but yeah.
Okay. I wonder, did he discuss if he had any personal experience with maladaptive daydreaming?
I don't think he does, but he's definitely been around others that have it, and he has a big grasp on it all and all that.
Okay. So, how, in your opinion, how many people do you have in your support group that?
And I lost track.
Well, it's a lot.
I actually I have a Tumblr page. If it's called Positively Maladaptive Daydream, I think. I forgot the name, but there's like 500 people, I think, that I follow it. I'm sorry about bragging, but
no. That's good, because I think that people are finding their own supporters.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a workshop out called RAP, which stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan, and part of what RAP teaches is to for the participant, or meaning the people who take the RAP class. Part of what they teach is finding your own supporters. People who can support you when you're doing well, and people that can support you when you're in crisis. You have to be the one to choose your supporters. So for me, I think that's good that there are a group of people that can get online and support each other, because you understand each other, you understand the language, you understand what's going on, opposed to somebody who have no knowledge of it. It's like, why?
Yeah,
So
I see.
I think that's really, really good. So what's next for you, Hannah? I mean, you're a sharp girl. You've kind of been through some things. You was able to identify some barriers and and get the help you need and get online. And so what's next for you?
Hopefully graduation.
Graduation?
That'd be nice. But I really want to be a writer.
Okay, wow, nice.
I don't think I'd be where I am without Maladaptive Daydreaming. When I first noticed it, I just started writing all these ideas that I had, and thought, this could be something more than just a dream.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And me, I really, and if that works out, I want to be able to direct what I write and all
Nice.
that.
Nice.
I've already done a few homemade things. I'm in my video production class at school, and I just really hope it only goes up from there.
Yeah, Kathleen, I'm telling you, mark my words, she's gonna do great things.
Oh yeah.
I really believe that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, I truly believe that. Truly believe that. You are going to make your mark in a great way in this world, and you have the film footage, meaning this show, to say I told you so.
All right.
Watch, because it's awesome. And for real, it's awesome to be able to do what you do. Just pick yourself up and know what's going on with you, and take it and use it in a positive way. That's I'm serious. A lot of youth your age don't get that chance. So yeah. So
I'm pretty lucky. I feel lucky to be here at this point.
It's like you got a great mom, which I work with, so I know you got a great mom, and a great family to support your efforts. So and so good luck. And so we've ran out of time.
All right.
And I appreciate the both of you for coming on the show. And that is the day for this edition of Mental Health Matters. If you enjoyed the show, or if you would like more information on this particular subject, or if you like a DVD copy of the show, please dial 916-366-4600. Thank you.